Hi everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody. I'm here back on Saturday for my Stash Kit Saturday video for you guys for the week. And I'm actually going to do a 12 by 12 layout, and this one is titled Happy Day. This is the 8th layout that I have made with this kit so far. And I expect to make a bunch more because look at all these papers right here that I'm laying out. This one actually was made before the last one I posted on Tuesday for my weekend challenge, but since it was posted earlier, the numbers are kind of flipped around. So anyways, forgive the fact that you can actually see the paper that I used on Tuesday's video here laying in this pile. But to make this layout, I wanted to use this photo. This is a photo of Ernest, Kaylin, and I, and it was for Ernest's birthday. We had went out to dinner at one of our favorite restaurants, which is Bad Daddy's here in Raleigh. And so I had a scrap paper here, which is this one. And this is the one, if you watched my kit like reveal video where I put the kit together, that paper is the one with like a little starburst on it. That paper is the one that inspired this entire kit. It is the one where I pulled all the colors from. It's the one that it's just the one that started this entire kit. So I kind of have been hoarding it because I really like it. So I'm going to use it on this layout, and it kind of is fitting because this layout is about Ernest's birthday and about a celebration. And this paper kind of just reminds me of fireworks for whatever reason. So I'm going to do 2/3 of the page with that paper and then 1/3 of the page with this other piece of paper. And funny enough, on the back of it is like a birthday paper, but I'm using the diagonal stripe side. And I should have placed this one down first. I didn't think about it when I was doing it, but I struggle obviously putting this paper down. Since I wanted to preserve as much as possible of the paper, I went ahead and mounted it on some white cardstock, and then I just trimmed down the edges to make sure it's a true 12 by 12 size. But it's got like 2/3 of the bottom paper and 1/3 of the top paper, and I kind of like that division of the paper. It just kind of helps, at least I think it does. It helps me. I feel like it kind of just is really nice looking to the eye. And I'm trimming down my photo here to get the white borders to be a little bit more consistent all the way around. Whenever I print my photos with white borders, sometimes they're printed with a consistent white border around, and sometimes they're not. So if they're not, I just trim them up or mount them on another piece of white cardstock, whatever. But this one I just had to trim down a little bit. I'm going to use a little bit of this ribbon to cover up that seam of the paper. And I just adhere the ribbon onto the back, fold it over to the back just to kind of keep that continuous ribbon line on the front. And then I am also going to use a little bit of ribbon here at the bottom where I do my title. Now, because this was a birthday that we were celebrating, I wanted to use these banner shapes from the Ellie Studio Sunny Days puffy sticker sheet that you see right there at the bottom left. And I tried on a couple different places around the layout to see what works the best, but up here at the top is what's going to end up working the best. I just kind of like the way that it just lays right there at the very top. And I didn't press it down too hard because I wanted to make sure that's where I want it to be, but that's where it's going to end up being. I'm not going to move it. I really like these bright green alphas, and I pretty much determined that I want my title to be a happy day. So I have to kind of flip through here and find the right letters. And some people find this to be very tedious, but it doesn't bother me at all. I just sit there and flip through it until I find what I need. And I'm going to try out a couple different alphas here, different colors of this alpha to find out what works best. So I found that the green was really nice, but I felt like it was kind of blending in with the green starburst that were in the background rather. So I'm going to try a few others just to see which one I think looks best. And I keep these little alphas. They're the jelly bean soup alpha beans. Excuse me. And I keep them in these little clear boxes from the Container Store. I think they're like $1.99 or something like that, and I just keep them on my shelf. But I really like the way that you can see the alpha through the clear box. I just think it looks cool sitting on a shelf. So that's how my title is going to be on the scrap little bit of this ribbon. And then I'm going to try these gray ones because, again, like I said, it's just blending in a little bit too much with the background. Now the gray ones look a little dull to me though, so I'm not sure which one I like the best. But I'm going to go look at my stash and see if I have any other ones here that fit. I have a lot of alphas obviously in this kit, but a lot of them are like half used sheets, and so I don't necessarily have everything that I'm looking for. I did pick out this right here sticker, this puffy sticker, and it's in the orange, and it kind of highlights the orange that is in the banner at the top. And then I pulled out this navy one, and it's actually called Newburgh Navy, and it's the same alpha beans from Jelly Bean Soup, but it's just got a dark navy, and this one is perfect. It's enough of a contrast that it stands out against the background. But it's not too bold and not too far off. It really matches everything that's already on this layout. So I kind of like covered up the green happy to see if I liked it any better, and I don't, so I'm sticking with the blue. I'm very happy with the blue. Just have to pick out the proper letters like I had mentioned before, and then put them all back in my little box. I've used this alpha numerous times, but I don't feel like I've used up any of the box. It's still just as full. Once it's a little bit less full, it'll actually be easier to work with, but I have 2 packages in each box, and I have a bunch more, a lot of other packages in my stash as well. Now, just to kind of make that alpha stand out a little bit, I'm going to layer a really thin strip of glassine bag on top of the ribbon here. And that again is just to help make that alpha stand out a little bit more. And that right there is very noticeable. It's very easy to read, very legible. You don't have to worry about if it stands out or not. I'm going to lay this blue label here just for a little bit to see if I end up liking it. I haven't decided, but I do love that puffy camera, and it is the right tones. It has the navies and the teals and white on it. So it is going to end up making it on the layout down here at the bottom by my title. And that right here, I've moved it out of the way for right now as I kind of place my title down, but it's going to make it back on the page. Now these alphas are loose and in the package whenever you purchase them, so you just have to add your own adhesive to it, and I'm just using Tombow Mono Multi Glue. Now it does dry clear, but I like to wipe off any excess that comes out from behind my letters because I don't like having that excess stay on my page. It dries clear, but it ends up kind of being tacky, like a tacky glue, so if there's any left, excuse me, if there's any left, I like to wipe it off just because I don't want my layout to be sticky or have any sticky spots on it. First, I'm adhering my letters down to the glassine bag as I did before, just so it's all one piece. And then I am adhering my ribbon down. I wanted to make sure that the alpha kind of nestled into the bottom title a little bit. Just have to move it around, and I just use my regular glue runner to adhere my ribbon down. I run it over the ends of the ribbon to help keep it from fraying. You don't have to do that, but I just like to do that. And sometimes I'll even I'm having a hard time talking. Sometimes I'll even machine stitch over the ribbon on the layout just to help kind of adhere it down. All right, I'm very happy with my title down here. It's called Happy Day. I really love doing titles in lowercase fonts, by the way. I'm really not sure why, but I just like the look of a lowercase font. I probably would type in lowercase all the time if it didn't autocorrect me. So I end up typing in proper upper and lowercase whenever I'm typing because it'll autocorrect some of the things you do and not everything. And then that looks funny if only half the stuff is uppercase and half of it's lowercase. So I would rather it just all be lowercase. I don't know why I like lowercase, but I do. And it's a weird tangent, but it's the truth. All right, so I'm using these LA Studio dated stamp set, one of my favorite, like absolute favorite stamp sets now. And I'm just stamping the date. It's September 5th, 2015. That is the date. That's Ernest's birthday. So it's going to make it down here on kind of layering over the photo a little bit. Using up some little bits and pieces in my kit, just such as this glassine bag. It's just going to layer right here under my photo, and that that label sticker that's navy, that actually is from my collections, by the way. I like to pick up some basic items like that from Michael's when I'm there, especially if they're on sale for whatever reason. That was in their invitation section, like where you can make your own invitations. I like picking up those types of things to layer, to use as layering elements on my layout, just because I find that it works really well to have those type of basic supplies in my stash. Now I'm using some of these pebbles and enamel dots. They have some giant enamel dots here, and I don't know where or how I'm going to use those giant enamel dots. So putting one right inside this camera worked perfectly because it's just the right size. And these enamel dots also had navy enamel dots and not navy. They had teal enamel dots. Well, they did have navy because I used one right there. They had teal enamel dots, and then they also had kind of a corally red enamel dot that fits really well with the rest of the colors on the kit. Now, the blue, there weren't little blue ones, at least not that I needed. And the blue sequence that I had in the kit was just too shiny. It was too much of a different blue. So I do have some little tiny brads that are navy, and so I'm going to use those. I have 3, so I'm just going to use them in 3 different places, kind of clustered around where I already have the enamel dots located. And I just use my little piercer tool from Martha Stewart. I don't know, it was like a pack of like 4 or 5 different little tools, and some of them have like rolling ends where you can use them for rub-ons, and then some of them have like pointy ends, some of them have kind of like a scoring end. So I use those all the time. I keep them right on my desk or on my Rascog where I keep some of my tools at. And I just added with those little kind of like navy looking brads. It adds kind of a smaller little dot to it, and it's really kind of cool looking. Thought about using a little bit of washi tape, but it doesn't make it on this kit. If you've been watching me work with kits for a while, you'll notice I typically will kind of flip through everything that's in my kit just to see if anything fits. And I wanted to check and see what date it was because I have a Saturday through Sunday listing there of banners, and I wanted to see what day his birthday fell on. But it was like a Tuesday or something, so it ended up not being a color that I wanted to work with. Excuse me, but I was keeping that option open. So on this sticker sheet there is this navy and white banner, so this is where I'm going to add my journaling, and I'm just putting enjoying a birthday dinner of burgers at Bad Daddy's, and then a little heart because my spacing wasn't proper. Bad Daddy's is a place that we go almost weekly now. We know all of the employees, and we just, whenever we go, we sit there and we talk to everybody. But at the time it was not on our standard rotation yet, but it was definitely one of Ernest's favorite places to go eat. And I like this label, but I just don't know where to put it, so it's going to end up, I'm trying it like literally everywhere it could possibly go on my layout just to see where I like it, and it's going to end up making it right here over the title. Now I had these little banners that were in borders that were in my kit, and I thought about layering some orange ones because I have that orange sticker, but the orange is just a little too bright for me, and it's not going to stay here. I'm going to take it off pretty quickly. I just don't like the way it looks, but I really thought about adding a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this orange sticker right under my camera just to add a small pop of orange, but not be quite so bold like that zigzag banner border was. And there's also this little orange label sticker. So I'm going to cut off the end of it and layer it right there on the corner of where the photo meets the ribbon. And then I'm also going to do a little bit of stamping and create a banner that says celebrate. And I'm going to layer it on top of another sticker that's in the teal color. I like having stamping on my layouts, but usually sometimes I don't think about it till after the fact. So I don't have very big stamping. I just have lots of little stamping here and there. And I just cut apart this stamp because it said celebrate the little things, I think. And so I'm just going to use the celebrate piece of it. Because we are celebrating Ernest's birthday. And since it was sticking out so much further than the orange one, I'm going to layer another one underneath. If I had thought about this beforehand, I wouldn't have cut the orange one so short. I was just using it as a small little piece sticking out from under. And so I'm going to layer this other one on top of, underneath my celebrate stamp set not stamp set, but stamp. Ooh, okay. I'm sorry guys. I was totally tongue-tied and twisted up in this voiceover. So we've made it to the end. Thank you for sticking with me if you did. I hope you did because I really like this layout. I just had a hard time talking tonight for whatever reason. All right, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back soon with another layout for you guys. All right, bye.